Hey everyone. So this is another episode of Reading with Friends. I am Tyler J. And this episode, y'all, it's going to be really interesting. So before I even get into all of that, I definitely want to introduce my co-host and friend, JR Scott.
What's up? What's up? How y'all doing?
So JR, I literally haven't seen you in forever.
It feels like it's been literally forever.
I know, but I can't sit still. So you know that I was like all over the place. So
Yes. Yes.
yeah, that's why. Okay. But anyway, tell us about the book that you chose and how you found this book.
Oh man. So I just started like reading a lot again this year. Like that was one of my New Year's
Same,
resolutions. It's
yeah.
like I want to read, I want to read, I want to read. And so horror has always been my vibe. Like that's my steez.
Love that.
So I'm more of a basic guy. I was just scrolling through all the Reddits, like, ooh, let me find a good book. And this one just kept popping up. The truth, the truth, the truth.
Yeah.
So I was like, all right, let me see what this is about. And yeah, I mean, it was a good choice.
It did not disappoint, but yeah, this is probably the most disturbing read I've honestly ever read in my life.
Really?
Yes, I don't think I've read many Stephen King novels, but
Mm.
we're very similar in that we like horror.
Mhm.
For movies, I haven't read a lot of horror novels. I like psychological thriller,
Okay.
but that's not horror. This was different. Okay, so yeah, so let's get into it. So JR, introduce yourself to the people and let us know like how did we meet?
Okay. So my name is J.R. Scott. Born and raised in Raleigh. I went to UNT Charlotte. Always hardly home. Always repping.
Seriously.
Don't do that. Yes, I work in tech sales. I work for Lenovo. Been there for about 10 years now, which is
Yeah, I just saw that on LinkedIn
crazy.
that you had a like 10 or 11-year
I should
anniversary.
probably check my LinkedIn more often. I probably have like a ton of notes on there. People saying
Probably.
congratulations.
Probably.
Yes. So how did we meet? That is a great question. So we actually met at Lenovo.
We did.
I have been there for a few years, and like to overshare, they're like it's a good mixed bunch of people, but still, when new black people come in, you're just like,
Yes.
oh, hey, new black person.
Bruh, there were so many black people at Lenovo. I think there still are a lot of
Oh yeah,
black
now there
people at,
are
yeah.
more honestly since you've been gone. Then
Wow.
yeah,
I
yeah,
loved how diverse Lenovo was as a company.
yes,
I
yes.
made a ton of friends there. Okay, but anyway.
Yes. So I've been there for a while, and so we're all chilling around one day, and I saw Tyler for the first time, and I was like, "Oh, hey, black person," and like, I'm not saying Tyler was not shy by any means, but like, I couldn't get a grasp on her. I was like, "Who is she? What does she even do? Like, why is she here?" And she ended up doing one of our trainings. I was like, "Okay, she's cool. She's cool." And then one of my homeboys had actually met her and got to know her first before I
Who?
did.
Who?
Donald did.
I met Donald before you.
Y'all interacted before.
Oh, okay. I was
Yeah,
like, that's okay.
y'all interacted before me and
See,
you did
he
because
remembers us
Donald
better than I
invited you
do.
out to
Was it
was
Bar
it?
Louie? Did we go to?
Nah,
No,
it
we
wasn't
went
Bar
somewhere
Louie that
else.
first night. I don't remember where we went.
Y'all, it
It
has
was
been
backyard. Whatever this place is over
backyard.
there. Back, I think it was backyard
You
in
know what? We're
Berkeley.
just gonna table
It
that. I
neither here
have
nor
no
there.
idea what it was. What
Yes.
year was this? This was
Oh
back
my
in
goodness.
2018,
2018.
the
Yep.
beginning of 2018.
Yes, 2018. But that's when we met. Yeah, we
Yes.
linked up and met after that.
Awesome.
Yes.
Yeah.
What a time.
I know. 2018 was a time indeed.
Poof.
I had just moved back from Austin because I had been in
Yes.
Austin. So I just moved back to the Raleigh Durham area. And Lenovo was my second chance because I had been unemployed for like, what, 4 months? I had like randomly babysat
Oh, I didn't even know
this woman's
that.
child. And that wasn't for me, to be quite honest. So I moved back to Raleigh. But anyway, I'm so excited to have you on this episode of Reading with Friends.
Yes.
So, again,
Same.
thank you so much for joining. So, let's get into it. How did you find the writing style of this book?
I personally loved it.
Yeah, what did you love about it?
So for me, it was the way the story broke up. So basically, there are two. Well, spoilers. I'm assuming.
We are going to steer clear from spoilers.
Oh, okay. Okay. So
Until
no
the end, at
spoilers.
least. Not
Okay.
at the
So
very
we'll have a
beginning.
hard. Okay. Cool. 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 Fair enough. Fair enough. Okay. So this isn't a spoiler, but the book is essentially broken up into two separate stories.
Mhm.
There's the boys on the island,
Yeah.
and then there's the news articles, the science fiction
Oh, I
writing.
really liked how they were putting in the news articles and just
So
in
good.
the interviews from the
Yeah.
Discovery. Yeah. Okay. Sorry.
I
Continue.
loved it. I loved it
Same.
because it broke it up and it gave it a sense of we weren't on the island all the time. I felt like we were experiencing separate things. So it gave what was happening on the island time to breathe.
Yes, and it was literally honestly, it was giving you different timelines as well. When it was splitting up with the articles, like you were literally getting an alternate timeline
Yes.
of events. And so it was also kind of like giving you the future. So it was kind of spoiling it while you were reading it a little bit. So, but I really enjoyed that part personally.
The same. I loved it. You
Okay.
kind of do. You get a feeling for what's going to happen.
Yes.
But even then, like the journey is so good that it's okay.
Yes, I
Yeah.
agree. Okay. So, in terms of like, when did you know that you were going to continue to read this book? Like, when did it hit you?
Oh man. Probably again without spoiling anything, I'll just say the surgery scene. That's when I was like, oh, this is something different. Like
When Scoutmaster Tim and the boys were doing it?
yes.
Okay, got you.
And yes, correct.
Oh my God.
That scene is so intense and it kind of hits you out of nowhere. 'Cause you're like, okay,
Yes.
something's off, something's not right. But oh boy, like when it hits, it's 0 to 100 from there the rest of the book.
Yes, literally it was. And I remember texting you and I was like, wait, this is crazy. And he was like, you haven't seen the half of it. It's
No.
literally about to turn up for real. And it did.
Yes.
It did. So let's talk about some of the themes in the book. So I went to kind of scour the TikToks and YouTube and all the things to figure out like what reoccurring themes people kind of took from the book. And one of the first ones is this term body horror.
Oof.
So how did, as you just said, like some of the stuff was super intense. Like,
yes.
did you feel yourself physically like cringing? Did you have to like step away and kind of put the book down a few times? Because it really did get intense.
Multiple times.
Yeah.
Multiple times. Like body horror is not usually my steez. I love horror. And usually, like you said earlier, psychological horror.
It's not the same.
It's not the same. Body horror is a totally different vibe.
Oh
like
my God.
I don't know if you've ever seen The Fly. Did you ever seen The Substance recently?
I didn't. So I went to see Weapons
Okay.
last night, and that still wasn't the same. Like it wasn't like anything that crazy, but I have not seen Lord of the Flies. Still.
Okay.
Please don't judge.
Read the book?
No.
I had to read in high school.
No, I didn't have to read it in high school.
Oh.
That sounds crazy.
What do you mean that sounds crazy?
Wasn't it horror or no?
I mean, it is, but it's like, to be honest, I mean, the troop is very much Lord of the Flies. I mean, very much. Just
I was seeing that.
far more graphic and
Okay.
more obviously set in present day.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, well, stay tuned. I will at least watch the movie.
The book is a better read, I promise.
Okay, well, it'll be on my TBR.
All right, there we go. Okay, fair enough.
But yes, in terms of like body horror, like I know for me, reading specific parts, I want to call, let me think about one of the ones that just really did it for me. Oh.
I think I already know where you're going. I think I already know where you're going. There's two for me, but what?
Yo, okay, so when Max and
Newton.
yes, Newton,
Yeah,
thank you.
Big Newt dog.
Ooh, when they went into that cave.
Hey, yo. I felt so squirmy that entire.
Yes, and I was legit
man.
screaming in my head at Max.
Yo, Max
I was so mad.
Max was tweaking.
But I was like, I had to stop myself because this is a 14-year-old boy.
And I think we lose that as you're reading the book at
Yes!
times. Yes.
Literally,
Yeah.
I was like, oh my God, can you? Yeah, it was when they went into the cave, y'all. If you read it, you know what we're talking about. But that scene, it just, and then the second time when he went in.
That's one of my least favorite parts of the book. We can talk about that later in the spoilers. But yeah, that painful the entire time.
Jesus. And then poor Ephraim.
That was my big man.
Right. I could tell
guy.
He was black. I know he was black.
Yeah, he was either black or brown.
I felt like he had locks. I don't know why I feel like he had locks. Like I feel like the way that he wrote his character, I feel like at some point he referenced his hair, and
Okay.
it felt like locks. So I assumed he was black.
Got you. Okay.
If that's not what I read, then that's not what I read. But that's what I felt.
Okay. Yeah. Eve,
Yes.
I was rooting for Eve the entire time.
Yeah.
But I mean, he was a walking crash out. Like, I mean, the elite crash out of the book. Like, I wanted nothing good for him, but it just.
Shelley got into his head.
Yo, Shelley.
Freaking Shelley was, bro. When they started to paint the picture of who Shelley was as a kid, definitely gave like serial killer vibes. Like
vibes.
Well, he became. I'm gonna leave that one alone. You could definitely tell that he was paper colored.
Yeah.
But I'm like, he was.
Oh, without question.
He was a weird.
Like Shelley, they don't write antagonists like that too. Like he was terrifying. Whenever he was
as a 14-year-old boy.
Yo, he was deep into it too. That's the scary thing. Like even his flashbacks were uncomfortable to read.
Because that cat,
that poor cat. There's some animal cruelty in this book.
A lot.
Yeah, just heads up if you're a little squeamish on animal cruelty, this is not the book for you because, oh boy.
There were two scenes in particular, one with Shelley and then one with Max and
Newton.
Yeah. That was a little rough to read as well.
That was one of the times I had to put the book down for a second. Oof. That was brutal.
Yeah. That was actually a theme in the book around animal cruelty.
Yeah. Definitely a trigger warning there for sure.
Yeah. The turtle scene on the beach. It's like at that point they were definitely in survival mode.
Yeah.
I don't remember the last time they'd actually eaten a meal because all their food like can't demolish the food.
Correct.
So they were starving and they couldn't find anything else. I think they had failed at creating a trap.
Yeah.
And so, that turtle unfortunately rolled up on the beach and they had no idea that the turtle was pregnant too.
Yeah. Hey Cutter, you are a sick man for writing that one because that was twisted. That was real sick. Like yeah, that one made me put the book down for a little. Not put it down, but I was like, all right, it's a good place.
Take a break.
Yeah, I gotta take a break. I'm gonna take a break. I'll get back to this tomorrow. I am not in a good mental space right now.
Oh my god.
Yeah, that was tough.
Okay. So another one of the themes was around unreliable characters.
Okay.
Which is funny because in my previous episode, we kind of touched on that with the book we read on The Silent Patient. They also had unreliable characters. It was more of a psychological thriller. But for this one in particular, they were unreliable because once they, I guess, were infected, like, you couldn't trust them.
No, not at all.
It's like, were they thinking for themselves as well? Like, there was some kind of entity, that tapeworm inside of them that was just like speaking in their, like, I'm like, how was that actually happening? That their thoughts were not their own at that point.
Correct. I think that's one of my favorite parts of the book too, because the book zigs when you expect it to zag a lot of times.
Yeah.
So you're right. Once they got infected, you didn't know
they were unpredictable.
Who was good. We didn't know who was infected, who wasn't infected.
Yeah.
Again, I think we kind of mentioned The Thing. It's very similar to that. I'm not sure if you've seen that already in the book, but like it very much feels like Lord of the Flies meets The Thing. You don't know who to trust on the island.
Oh
you don't know who's sick, who's not, who might rip your face off and try to eat you. Like you don't know. And that was one of the most gripping parts of the book because it's like I got to keep reading to find out who's good, who's not,
and who's gonna get infected, because it was like, tag, you're it.
Literally.
Can we just touch on Scoutmaster Tim real quick? Rest in peace. He was like,
he big dog. I hope you enjoyed that wallpaper.
Oh my god! Like the fact that they were eating the walls, they were eating the floors,
anything, the spark plugs, anything they could get their hands on.
How? Like,
I ain't never been that hungry.
I pray that I'm never that hungry. Because it's like they weren't actually eating things for nutrients at that point. They were just like it just needed to be fed.
Correct.
And I'm sorry, we're doing a lot of like back and forth and zigzagging right now. But can we talk about why this was created in the first place? Why this tapeworm was created in the first place?
Again, one of the best parts of the book. because when I read it, I was like, you can't be serious, bro.
Two things happened. And again, I'm not going to spoil it. I'm just going to talk about one thing or one of the reasons why the tapeworm was created, because that was pretty obvious at the beginning of the book, right?
Yeah.
Wanting to lose weight quickly.
Yes.
So it was going to be 2 injections. It was supposed to be in 2 injections. So the first, lose the weight, all that good stuff. And then they would inject you again so that you could like flush it out of your system.
Right.
You hear about that in like other countries. I don't think that that's legal here.
I would hope not.
In the States.
I would hope not.
This scientist, Dr. Egerton, he was literally a mad scientist.
He was literally a mad, and he had reign to do whatever he wanted to.
And again, I'm not going to spoil it. I'm not going to talk about the second reason why this thing was able to go rampant like it was. But yeah, reading through some of the trials they did on the monkey.
That was terrible. I forgot about that.
Very terrifying.
Yeah, it was. I forgot about that.
Like literally a cut scene in the book where it was just, again, talking about injecting this monkey, how it was coming out of the other end of it.
Ooh, yep.
How it was starting to tear at its own flesh, tear its hair out, eat it. Like it literally went from 0 to 100. And I think it happened in like, I want to say it was like, I don't even think it was a full 24 hours.
No,
I feel like it was like maybe 18, 16, something like that. Where it was injected and then it was deceased.
Correct. Yes.
So yeah, y'all.
This book was a smorgasbord of animal cruelty. In retrospect, I forgot about the monkey. I forgot about the monkey.
That was
crazy. Sheesh.
Y'all, yeah. So again, we already said it, but definitely trigger warning for anyone that,
please.
Like PETA definitely couldn't read. Anyone a part of PETA could definitely not read anything.
They're asking for this book to be banned immediately.
Probably, yes, most definitely. So another theme in the book was this sense of a loss of innocence. Again, these kids were 14 years old.
Yes.
Like they went to this island for some really I don't know, like they literally went for some Boy Scout type-ish. Like it wasn't anything crazy. Like I don't even know if they were going to get like a badge, because I honestly don't. I've never been a Girl Scout or anything.
I haven't either, so I'm not sure.
Okay. Well, if y'all know, let me know. But they were going as a troop with Scoutmaster Tim, and yeah, that just
it seemed like, I think if I remember when I was reading it, like it was a yearly trip. Like
yes,
it was something they took yearly. Scoutmaster Tim, we get the squad out, we go enjoy nature, and like vibe with the boys.
Yeah.
And that's not what they got this trip out. And like we mentioned it earlier, we forget, at least I did a lot. These were 14-year-olds. They go through some things that I can't imagine myself ever having to do or make choices on.
No.
So you kind of lose as you're reading, like, oh, these are children.
Plus, I mean, at the end of the day, even if we were to go through something like that at this point, we're like in our 30s.
Correct.
So like we will never have this type of experience ever. Like our minds are a lot more, our minds aren't warped.
Correct. Correct. And fully developed at this point.
Yes. Perfectly. Another theme was around survival and human nature. Human nature, I guess, or just survival, just kind of tips the scales in terms of like what's right and what's wrong and what makes sense and what doesn't make sense. Because at that point, like you're just trying to figure out if you're actually going to make it home and make it off the island. When I'm trying to remember who, I feel like it was, I don't think it was Max who really realized that, we're not getting off this island. I feel like it was Newt. Or who do you think it was?
It was definitely Newt, because Newt kept thinking about and mentioned his mom and how he wasn't going to see her again. Especially near the end, he kept saying it. And I think he was the one that kind of hit him. And then Max like, nah, man, we're going to get there.
Yeah, he was definitely trying to hold out hope.
He was fighting for it.
He knew that Newt had gotten infected.
Correct. Spoiler alert.
Oh, yeah. Well, fine. Okay. Anyway, so something else, I don't remember who mentioned or who noticed it first. The boats.
Yes.
The military boats, the helicopter. I don't remember who saw it first and was like, "Huh, that's interesting." But
I think it was Eve when they were going
okay.
out that day to explore. I think Eve knows the first helicopter.
Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, so that's when they were like, "Well, that's a little strange."
It's weird. It's not normal.
Yeah.
That shouldn't be
So
out here.
right.
Like, what's what you mean?
Child. Yeah. Okay. So those were some of the themes.
Theme wise, I think that hits the majority of
Yeah.
them. Obviously, the survival is one of the
The
biggest
biggest,
one. I mean, that's the
definitely.
biggest one,
Yeah.
honestly.
Okay.
A small theme, obviously, with the secondary plot with all the scientific stuff was the government can do whatever they want, kind of. They were in Canada, so I mean that gives me a little hope. None at all, really.
No,
But
definitely
that is
not.
definitely an underlying theme within the in
Yes.
the book for sure.
Yeah. Okay. Well, F it, since you brought it up. So the second reason the second reason for this tapeworm going rampant, like
Mhm.
I was his name Tom? The the dude that they experimented on? Was it Tom?
I think it was
I
it Tom?
feel like it started with a T, I feel like.
I believe so.
I've because I know there was Scoutmaster Tim, and I feel like the guy's name was Tom.
Right.
If
It
it
was
wasn't,
redacted from a few of the
yeah.
things. I can't.
If it wasn't, then y'all know who I'm talking about either way.
Yes.
Okay. They really took advantage of that man.
Oh, most
He
certainly.
found someone that he knew was just off in the streets, had no money. Like he took advantage, didn't actually share or disclose what was happening because I'm pretty sure he had experimented on all those animals first before he decided to
He
experiment
needed a
on
human to finally get the real trial.
correct. So when we found out that the government was involved
Mm-hmm.
and that this was in fact kind of a trial for a bioweapon.
Yes.
How did you feel when you read that part, when you found that out?
My jaw hit the ground, honestly, because that is not a plot twist that I had
No.
in mind at all. But what I loved about it is it still felt like it was tethered to reality. I love that because it was like, wait, this, I mean, we
It
would
could
hope
happen.
this wouldn't happen,
It could happen.
but there was an amount of realism in there that was like, this could possibly happen.
Yeah.
Like, this guy just gets loose, and next thing you know, he's wreaking havoc on an entire island at the time, but could easily turn into an entire city, entire town, entire country.
Yeah.
Like,
And going back to the trials, I forgot the guy's name, but one of the I'm gonna just call him a sergeant. He wasn't a sergeant, but one of the guys that they were questioning was talking about how he actually helped save people through like a potential epidemic, pandemic situation.
Nasty work. I didn't like that one bit.
And yet he decided he was going to try to cover some stuff up around his involvement with this new project. But they had the receipts.
All of them. All the receipts.
They saw those deposits. They saw the messages going back and forth. Like they had the receipts.
Yes. That was one of my favorite parts because it's like, it was a twist that you don't see coming.
No.
Obviously. Don't see that coming from a mile away. But the way that Cutter plays it, it still felt like I could see a government being like,
yes.
what do you mean we didn't do this? We just saved millions of lives. What you mean? When it was them the entire time that caused the issue.
That's because there was no paper. Well, there was a paper trail, obviously, but if this were actually to like happen and had he not escaped, had Tom not escaped from the dungeon that they had him in, like I don't know that they would have been able to trace that back.
Oh, no way. No way they would have been able to.
That would have just been like a really random, crazy case of a ridiculous tapeworm.
And nobody would have known anything.
The wiser. No. Wow. Nick Cutter was good.
He was good. That boy was in his bag. He really was.
So I saw something while I was doing my research. I couldn't find the interview, but they said that there was an interview that Nick Cutter did around the inspiration for the book.
Okay.
And so it said that he actually went to a science museum.
Interesting.
He went to a science museum, and I think that he might have seen this tapeworm in a science museum and just it just piqued his interest or something. Okay. I'm going to see if I can find the interview and I'm going to link it. But I found that super interesting and that he was able to weave this type of narrative around a field trip.
Correct. That boy read Lord of the Flies or watched the movie and said, "You know what? Let's throw a tapeworm in here and see what would happen. Let's just throw that in there and see what happened." Right, 14-year-old boys.
Because honestly, because I hadn't seen Lord of the Flies or The Thing, I was honestly thinking about Stranger Things.
I mean,
as I was reading it, because that's really the only context that I had. But obviously, it's not that gruesome, even though it's pretty gruesome. Well, I don't know, because well, the thing is, though, like they said that they couldn't adapt this for TV, like they could not adapt this book for screen because of the subject matter, because of the children, because I equated this to like Stranger Things, I was like, well, they were pretty young kids.
They were about the same age. I mean, they've been on Netflix forever, so now they all grown adults now. But I mean,
literally, and I'm looking forward to the last season of Stranger Things, because apparently, I don't know if this is true, but it was like 8 episodes that were like 2 hours long.
I did see that clip, that slide. I don't know if it was factual or not, but
child, you've given us like 8 movies,
right? Literally.
Yeah, but anyway, we'll see what happens. We'll see what it comes out with. But when you think about, and I'm gonna go back to the body horrors thing, when you think about how their bodies were transformed with this tapeworm, thinking about Kent first and how his body transformed. Well, actually, no, we got to take it all the way back to Tom.
He's the first one.
Exactly.
We meet him first in the book.
Yes. Reading how Nick Cutter described the way that they looked.
I can't really put it into words, because when you're reading it, some of the descriptions are just
outlandish.
Outlandish. Like, it used to feel violated almost reading someone. Right.
Yes.
Like Kent is a really good one, because he was the jock. Like he was the athlete. He was the biggest of the boys. And to see the progression, not progression is the wrong word.
No, it was a progression. It was a progression of, well, it was a progression, but it was also
regression is probably the better word. Yes. The regression, because I mean, they end up putting him in this just little cave and he's just nothing but bone.
Yeah.
More or less. The description of the faces, of how gaunt they were, like it was genuine.
Just sunken eyes.
Oh my goodness.
Just basically their skin like shedding off them. Like I think it was Shelley that they were saying looked like, not raisins, they didn't call them raisins, but they said that his skin was just so like wrinkled or something, because like there was just no,
that description of him in that cave once like he had been fully infected, bro,
it just reminded me of like a ghoul or something. That's what I was thinking about when I was reading the descriptions.
And what made it so good is everybody, even though like physically they were all changing the same way, everybody still felt like a different character. Correct. Everyone felt like a unique character.
Yeah.
Like the descriptions were terrifying.
Bro, when I think about Shelley, because Shelley was he was evil.
Oh,
Shelley was just evil. He was trying to sick Kent on them people, and I don't know if it actually worked, but then when he decided to get rid of Kent, the scene in the water of him, trying to drown him, and then basically this is when he knew he effed up, because he got too sick in the head. He put his hands on Kent's head and tried to pull him either down to drown him or what, but like his scalp started to come off, and then all of a sudden he had those things,
worms all over. Yep.
That's when he knew he effed up.
And I like the way Nick wrote that scene, because even at first it was kind of terror for him, but then he just kind of accepted it. Like he kind of loved it. He was like, I'm one with them now.
Oh my God. Him talking about being pregnant.
Oh my God.
Disgusting.
Disgusting.
When they were talking about him, like I guess his belly had descended and it was like dragging or something. I was like, yo, what does he look like right now? It was, and then he was on top of Max, and he was on top of Newt.
Yeah. And the way he did my boy Eve was so nasty. The way he did, he
got into his head.
Even though I didn't put the book down for a break after that scene, But the scene where he convinces Eve that he's
To
infected.
set him on fire.
No, even before that, when he says you need to use
to
this
cut him
knife to
off.
get him out.
Oh my god, I had to put it down for that. I'm
That
sorry.
was so rough.
Oh my god, I definitely put the book down for that because, like, he got that Swiss Army knife.
Yes.
And was just going in. I was like, yo, this is insane because he was losing so much blood.
So much.
And I just tried to imagine Max's face when they found him.
That was his best friend.
Yeah, even though at that point there was like a very small rift between them.
Yeah, they had fallen out.
Like, they still wanted to be protective of Kent, even though Eve and Shelley, they all knew
what
he was infected. Yeah. And they were trying to, like, have that self-preservation, but then they were also just trying to, and that was another theme, like, what will you do for your loved ones?
Correct. The really messed up part with Eve is when he first starts cutting himself, like, they leave that scene, they go somewhere else.
Yeah.
When we come back, that's when they go into the description of how bad he had cut himself. And we're into spoilers now, so Shelley had convinced him that he was infected and told him, go to town on yourself. And then once he does, Shelley sets the boy on fire.
So he was excited that he was able to just rip the mask off and be who he truly was.
Yeah.
At that point. And so he had planned this elaborate scheme
to turn all these boys on
against each other. Yep.
Yes, and then just let the chaos ensue. Whew.
I just wonder if he thought that he was going to be like the last man standing.
I think he thought he was. I think that was his mindset. Everybody else is going to die, and whether he got saved or not, like, in his mind, he won. And I guess in some degree, he was the hero in his own mind.
Ugh.
Disgusting.
God.
Do you have I'm sorry to change, but I have to ask you this. Since we're on Eve, I've got a question on Eve. Do you think he was actually infected or no?
Oh my gosh, yeah. So I don't think that Eve was infected. I think that he had literally got into his head because he had that fight with Kent.
Yeah.
I think that he was super just paranoid.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he kept rubbing his broken knuckles on his clothes, like he was trying to get the blood off. Like, I think that he just let his mind wander.
Yeah.
And then once Shelley planted the seed, I thought I saw something under your fingernail.
It was over.
Yeah.
It was all done. That's all it took.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I even Max and them, they were like, we don't think you're infected. Like, you're okay.
Oh, you're good.
But I think that because Eve felt like he was hungry, not because they hadn't eaten in I don't know how long, but because, like, he knew that,
that included, yes. Yep. Which is a huge motif in the book too, is hunger. Like, they, even before any of the boys or the Scoutmaster get infected, like, hunger is a theme throughout it. And I don't know if Nick was trying to touch something deeper as far as hunger goes, but throughout the book, hunger and just that need for more and want is really consistent throughout the entire book.
And then what about Newt and his whole, like, losing weight thing? And
true,
so, like, I can definitely see where you're going with that. I definitely feel like hunger and body image might have definitely also played a part in this narrative too.
Correct.
Oh Lord. Okay. Okay. We're gonna play a game.
Okay.
So this game is called The Unlikely Hero.
Ooh, all right.
Okay, so the characters in the troupe, obviously some of them are deeply flawed. So for this game, we are going to choose one or more unlikely characters. So let's say Shelley or Kent, or Shelley and Kent.
Okay.
And we have to pitch how we think that those characters were the actual heroes of the story.
Okay.
And then we need to create an alternate arc.
Okay.
Or an alternate ending.
Okay. All right. Who you want to go first?
You're my co-host, so I'll let you go first.
Go first? Okay. All right. So I did ponder on this. And I feel like we could easily do one for Kent. Kent's
Okay.
story is kind of easy.
Okay.
But the one I really want to touch on first, though,
Yeah.
I got to start with my dog, Eve.
Okay. Let's do it.
All right, all right. So my thought was, all right, Shelly tells him, hey, you're infected, hands in the knife, and Eve starts cutting, but not to the full degree that he did in the book. And at some point, it hits me, he's like, yo, hold on, let me check with Max and see what he thinks.
Okay.
So he, they come find him. It's like, okay, bro, you're not infected. Like, you got to chill out. You got to stop cutting yourself. Shelly sees this and was like, all right, plan B.
Mm-hmm.
At this point, I feel like he lets Kent loose on Newt.
Oh, okay.
Because we got to, in my mind, I want to get Eve to the point where Newt was in the book later.
Okay.
So we need Newt to go. So he lets Kent out. Kent takes out Newt while he's asleep or something. The boys wake up. They try to save him.
Yeah.
They accidentally kill Kent, who's already kind of weak at this point as it is.
Okay.
And so that leaves obviously worn down and disheveled Max and Eve.
Okay.
So
Shelly's
still out and about doing his weird, violent, sociopathic behavior stuff.
Okay.
So, we get to the scene. Let's just fast forward. We get to the scene at the end, to the cave with Max and Eve instead of Newt at this point.
Okay.
And I thought a perfect redemption arc for him would be he deals with anger this entire book.
Yeah.
So I feel like his anger in the end could end up saving them somehow, whether it be like Shelly's playing with him and he just loses his temper, even though they need to be quiet. They're in the dark.
Yeah.
He loses it, snaps on Shelly, and taking Shelly out, it saves Max so he can get out.
Got you.
Full redemption arc for my boy Eve.
Does Eve die in the cave?
I think so.
Okay.
Yeah, I think so.
All right. Okay, that's interesting.
What are your thoughts?
So I'm gonna take it a step further. So my thought process was that Eve was actually infected, but he does end up cutting the tapeworm out of himself.
Ooh.
So you never see anyone actually do that in the book. Like everyone just kind of resigns to the fact that they're infected. But what if he's able to cut the tapeworm out before it like wreaks complete can start reproducing,
takes over his mind. Okay.
So that was kind of what I thought. And so then if Eve and Max and Newt were all together, they would actually take out Shelly. In my mind, Kent was already dead. Like Shelly had already done what he was going to do with that. But it was the three of them, and they were able to actually get off the island together and tell the story.
Oh, I like that.
So that was kind of like the three of them, because no one would expect Newton to actually be a survivor.
Correct.
Because they had thoughts about him, though as him and Max were like getting to know each other and having that moment together, Max was starting to see Newton differently.
He was.
So, but he didn't tell him that. So he probably would have, still thought that they felt that way about him. But so they all three of them got off the island.
Okay.
The island is still bombed up though. Like they still have
they scorched earth
that
bad
boy.
Yeah, scorched earth that bad
like,
boy.
no.
None of this happened.
Yeah. But they're able to tell their story, and I don't think that they would have been. I think they would have been shut off in that little holding area.
Correct.
Just to make sure they were good. But then life would go back to a new normal for them.
Okay.
Like I think all of them would end up moving out of that city or out of that area and like potentially going to America, getting out of Canada.
I would get out as fast as possible.
I would get out of Canada. So
well, I wouldn't come here right now. I don't know. It's a lot of. It would be tough.
They don't know how bad it is up here.
They don't. They don't. This is very true.
So, yeah, I would come to America.
They don't.
But yeah, so yeah, that was kind of what I was thinking.
I like that. I like that. I like the alternate timeline of them getting out and be able to tell their story.
Yeah.
My question is like, at that point, what does the government do? Because their narrative clearly is very different from what these boys are telling. So I think that would be very interesting.
Well, no, because I feel like they were getting their just due in court, like with the discovery.
True.
Like
true.
They figured it out that they were lying.
Yes.
That it was definitely a ploy of the government as well at that point, that they were negligent. So I still think that would happen.
Okay.
Like that would still be the thing.
I like that.
Okay.
We didn't touch on Newt.
Not as much.
What was, I guess, as a whole, not even just what happened to Newt.
Can we talk about Scoutmaster Tim and the nerd alert
Yeah.
I was like, yo, that is crazy to say about a child.
Crazy time.
They really did not. They
were so
didn't
mean
like
to that boy.
Newt.
They were so mean to that boy.
They were, and I think it was Max who said it. They were like, the only reason they picked on him was because he was fat.
Correct. This is it. That's
Like they needed someone to unleash on as a group, and no one else really had like a thing about them.
So he was the one.
He was the one.
He was the one. It's funny because he really is just a carbon copy of Piggy from Lord of the Flies. Piggy is the nerdy, overweight kid in the book, and they pick on him relentlessly pick on him, and he ends up, spoiler alert, dying as Newt does before they get off the island. Like they're pretty close getting off, but at the very end, you think he's gonna make it in. Yeah.
Wow.
Poor Newt. And his catfish page of his cousin. That was so sad.
What would Alex Markson?
Alex Markson, I think so, yeah.
Child.
That boy just wanted everybody to like him. That's all he wanted.
Yes,
he wanted friends.
At the very end, the girl that he liked, I think her name was Doris.
Yeah.
She messaged him on something, child, asking about him.
Yep, sure did.
That was sweet. I was like, dang.
He would have won in the end.
Yeah.
But he got off before he got off the boat. I was so pissed at that scene. I was like, bro, what?
Well, I'm not trying to be funny, but I feel like at that point, Newt knew that he was infected and that he wasn't going home.
Yeah, I think he did too.
Even though they got on that boat, like, I think that he was, I don't want to call him a martyr, but he knew what he was doing by saying what he said out loud.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
So I don't know.
I hated it. When I read it, I was mad. I was so disappointed after they had been through all that. But you're right. Like, he was resigned. He was infected. Yeah. It probably was the best outcome for everybody, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But, yeah, shooting a 14-year-old boy.
Ew.
Sniper.
Yeah, they interviewed him at the end. Yeah. Yep.
Oh my God. Of course, like I think about this all the time. Like that wasn't easy for me to do, but like it was because of you. Like you were part of it.
You were part of it. Very much.
Okay. So to end, I want to know, like, what do you rate the book out of 5?
Okay, out of 5, I'm going 4.5.
Okay.
My only complaint with the book, my only one, is the very end. When they went, so we mentioned they go in the cave, and that's the climax of the book. They go to the cave to confront Shelley, to get the spark plug, to get off the island, whatever. They get out, and Max ends up having to go back. And the doubling back.
Was so pissed.
Like, as a character, like, I was mad at the character. I know you have to go back to get it, but the way it was written, it felt like, why? It felt unnecessary to have to make them double back.
That was the second time they had messed around and left those spark plugs somewhere.
Yes.
Because the first thing that pissed me off, and I'm sorry, we're supposed to be wrapping up, and here I go again, but when Newt left those freaking spark plugs on that rock to go do whatever the heck else they were about to go do, I was like, bruh,
as a reader,
why didn't you put those in your pocket? Why did you leave them out there knowing that Shelley was out there, that like Max was trying to say that a bird might have got them? No. Like,
come on, bro.
That was negligent on your part.
I know he's 14. I know he is.
That pissed me off so bad.
Me too. Because as the reader, when you're reading, you're like, I know this is a bad idea. Like, I know this is a bad idea, bro.
No, it wasn't even, because I didn't, honestly, when he said they left them spark plugs, I didn't even think about it until he got back and they weren't there. Then that's when it pissed me off. then that's when it pissed me off, because I was like, of course they're gone. Of course Shelley did this.
Like, of course Shelley did.
He's been lurking. He's been watching y'all the whole time.
And y'all left the door open for him to do whatever he wanted to.
Child, okay, sorry.
Yeah.
But
that was my minor complaint from the book.
Okay.
Everything else, like I said, the book always zigs when you think it's going to zag. And that's my favorite part of any book, any movie. If you keep me on my toes, then like you have me.
Yeah.
And this book had me from the jump.
Yeah, I would also give it a 4.5 out of 5. This is the first like purely horror book that I've read, and it made me feel things.
Yes.
And
yes.
Again, like you said, like it made me feel things. So I literally did not want to put the book down, for the simple fact that I wanted to know what happened next, and I wanted to know like who was next. It's like a whodunit.
Literally.
Who got you? Who's next? But yeah, Nick Cutter, like you did your thing for real.
Yeah, this one's good.
And he's got a few other books that I saw. So I might have to put one of them on my TBR pile.
Yes, Nick will be on my short list to continue reading as well.
All right. Well, that is it for this episode of Reading with Friends. Again, JR, thank you so much
I
for
appreciate
being
it.
my
It's been
co-host.
fun. Yes, it's been
Yes.
awesome.
But yeah, so you guys stay tuned for our next episode and our next read. Bye.